all religions to stop using God's name, to stop using God's name, to stop using God's name. During the Pope's historic trip as the first pontiff to the UAE for the Human Fraternity meeting, a document on human fraternity was drafted, along with the Sunni Imam al-Tayyib. The 5-page document is broken down in various parts, touching on some of the plagues of the current time and what unites humanity. While Islam and Catholicism present a different belief in God, as Allah or as Jesus Christ, the document mentions the importance of this belief, saying, "The first and most important aim of religion is to believe in God, to honor Him, and to invite all men and women to believe that this universe depends on a God who governs it." Thus, it also declares that religions must never incite war, hateful attitudes, hostility, and extremism, nor must they incite violence or the shedding of blood. The document states that this violence exists from deviating from religious teachings and a manipulation to incite hatred, violence, extremism, and blind fanaticism.
Nel nome di Dio creatore dunque va senza esitazione condannata ogni forma di violenza, perché è una grave profanazione del nome di Dio.
Founded on the basis of the common belief in God, the document asks all religions to stop using God's name to justify murder, exile, terrorism, and oppression. has also spoken in the past about his beliefs of Islamic fundamentalism. He said it's not fair to identify Islam with violence.
Credo che in quasi tutte le religioni c'è sempre un piccolo gruppetto fondamentalista. Noi ne abbiamo. Credo che non è giusto identificare l'Islam con la violenza. Questo non è giusto e non è vero.
This document states the urgency to stop supporting terrorist movements and attempts to justify these movements with the media. It calls these actions international crimes that threaten security and world peace. A new idea was also proposed: citizenship for everyone based on equal human dignity, rights, duties, and the need to be treated justly.
Il Medio Oriente deve diventare terra di pace, non può continuare ad essere terreno di scontro. La guerra, figlia del potere e della miseria, ceda il posto alla pace, figlia del diritto e della giustizia, e anche i nostri fratelli cristiani siano riconosciuti come cittadini a pieno titolo e con uguali diritti
Currently, citizenship is not granted to non-Muslims in the UAE, while they are able to practice their religion freely. Thus, this idea proposes full citizenship and rejecting the discriminatory use of the term minorities, which engenders feelings of isolation and inferiority. The dignity and equality of women, children, and the elderly is also stressed upon, especially in Muslim-based institutions where it's not practiced.
L'indifferenza uccide e noi vogliamo essere voce che contrasta l'omicidio dell'indifferenza. Vogliamo dare voce a chi non ha voce, a chi può solo inghiottire lacrime.
The document calls for women to be allowed education, employment, and political rights, that they can be freed from historical and social conditioning and protected from sexual exploitation and being treated as objects of pleasure or financial gain. Children must also be protected and allowed a family atmosphere, education, nutrition, and support. Likewise, the weak, disabled, and elderly must be protected. This document emphasizes the importance of the role of religions in the construction of world peace. Peace and harmony are virtues Pope Francis has spoken about since the beginning of his pontificate.
It is my hope that interreligious and ecumenical cooperation will demonstrate that men and women do not have to forsake their identity, whether ethnic or religious, in order to live in harmony with their brothers or sisters.
The declaration claims it's a sign of closeness between East and West, North and South, and between all who believe God has created them to understand one another and live as brothers and sisters.